Tissot's fine PR516 chronograph now gets an automatic update and Blue Panda dial. Welcome back to the Monochrome channel. My name is Robin and I have a few things to say about the new Tissot PR516 Auto Chrono. If you look at the current market, it might just be that Tissot is the best value for money brand from Switzerland. Price is always a hot topic for debate, and I'm sure some of you will not agree with me, which is fine of course, but consider this. In the past few years, we've seen many compelling watches coming from Tissot at fair prices. The obvious one is the PRX, which took the sub €1,000 market by storm. But there's also the fun and colourful Sideral, which gave us an accessible forged carbon dive watch. With the PR516 range, Tissot yet again delivers boatloads of character at rather sensible prices. The PR516 collection rekindles the racing spirit of the 1970s to the fullest. It started with a manually wound chronograph, followed by a time and date model, and now, surprisingly, an automatic chronograph. The range takes design cues from vintage Tissot models with minimal concessions to modernity. The result? Devilishly good looks, solid mechanics and compelling prices. As mentioned, the PR516 collection finds its origin in watches by the same name from half a century ago. They are an homage to a bygone era, yet don't look aged or outdated one bit today. Of course, the retro game is still going strong in the industry, but with watches like this, I'm not complaining. The look is quite similar to the manually wound PR516 with a classically styled 41mm wide stainless steel case. The height is 14.19mm and the lug-to-lug measures 49mm. On the wrist, that gives it a modern presence, which is nothing to be ashamed about. The added height needed for the automatic winding system is very acceptable, considering the 13.7mm thickness of the manual PR516 chrono. Truth be told, at 36mm across, the original 1970s one was a fair bit smaller, but everything still feels balanced and well proportioned with this one. The domed sapphire crystal is a must for watches like this, replicating the look of old acrylic crystals without any of the drawbacks. On the right, the knurled pull-out crown has a pair of classical pump-style pushers for neighbors, and the water resistance is a solid 100 meters. And where the manual PR516 relies on a mostly black color scheme, this automatic PR516 has a Blue Panda style dial. That means we have a silvery white base with blue rings for the stop dials and a blue tachometer insert for the fixed bezel. The applied baton style markers and hands are all finished with a touch of superluminova, which is pretty much a given at this point. And as you have undoubtedly seen already, there's no date to be found on the dial anywhere. Viewers will say that's the way to go, others might miss it. Beating away underneath the see-through caseback is the ETA A05.231 automatic chronograph. And this is a rather extensively modified Valjoux 7753 at heart, running at a frequency of 28,800 VPH. The cam-actuated chronograph displays central seconds, elapsed 30 minutes at 3 and 12 hours at 6. With a power reserve of 60 hours, it will easily keep running even if you put it aside for a day or two. The movement itself is driven by a darkened open-work rotor finished with the Tissot logo in white. It must be said that the rest of the finishing is a touch industrial, but overall it looks okay. To be perfectly honest, I was already quite impressed with the manual PR516 chronograph, and this one though looks perhaps even better, despite a slight increase in thickness. In the end, it always comes down to personal preference of course, but the Blue Panda style dial, the practicality of an automatic chronograph, plus the new multi-link bracelet put it over for me big time. Add to that a price of €2,145 and there's very little left to complain about, if anything at all. It's available from Tissot retailers and boutiques and added to the collection permanently. That's about it for now. Thank you very much for tuning into Monochrome Watches once again. Make sure to give a thumbs up to the video if you've liked it and subscribe to the channel so you never miss any future content. Thanks again and I will see you in the next video.